one of the things going on in the oil and gas world is that these service companies, when it comes to like chemical spills and that sort of thing, we're hearing more and more of them that are on the hook with the
Yeah.
different environmental service companies, that they're not the ones on the hook. Rather, the oil and gas companies are the
Yeah.
ones on the hook. Talk to me about that.
So it basically comes down to I know in Texas it's called the responsible party. Outside of Texas, I couldn't tell you what it's called, but basically the company that caused the spill, for want of a better word, is the ones that are legally on the hook for the cleanup.
And just a very quick overview, how does somebody, if you want to call it a mental checklist, how does somebody screen a company like yourself?
The best thing to do is look at what they're telling you about their products and the capabilities of their products, and generally just Google it, and you'll find that there's enough academic research out there to prove or disprove their theory. If someone, for instance, claims their product turns crude oil into sand, Google crude oil into sand, and you'll find it's physically impossible to do.
Now, you actually are starting this environmental company, this environmental arm of the company due to demand. You actually have another oil and gas service company, but so many of your customers were talking about this issue that you guys have actually went ahead and started a service company based on, the trust of your clients, et cetera. Talk to me about this company and how it got started, and just kind of, did I explain it correctly?
Yeah, so basically we started off in oil field chemicals, manufacturing new chemicals. So we are only one of a few handful of companies in the US, in fact the whole world, that offer a new range of products which are non-petrochemical based. But from there, we also developed a microbial remediation product, and we improved our formulation by adding more microorganisms than any other product on the planet, which is far more sustainable and effective. From there, obviously, we've had companies come back to us say, we've used this company that's not done a very good job or anything like that. Can you clean up their mess, for want of a better word? So out of the demand for that, that's why we branched off into a separate entity of environmental services for the oil and gas industry.
Talk to me about some of the experiences you've had out in the field. This is relatively new, and you guys have captured some good success because of the demand. Is this something that you guys were trying to, add on at some point? Explain how you were so successful out of the gate.
Well, basically, what we'd done was when we started to branch off into oil field chemicals and soil bioremediation-based products, we had put together a very unique scientific development team and brought in engineers who had dealt within various sectors of the oil and gas industry for a number of years, and basically developed our products off of that. So you're not just getting the scientists, you're also getting the engineers in the same room who has dealt with on the ground treatment and everything else, or flow assurance or whatever. And then from there, obviously, when we've had requests, we've used our own engineering consultancy department to basically go and do the projects and do the cleanup. So that's how we've got into it and been so successful, because we put two sides that don't normally speak into the same room to develop world-class products. But then from there, obviously, when we've had requests, we've obviously had the staff on hand to go out and do the environmental site assessments, which is the initial review of the spill and the extent of the spill. And then obviously, we have service technicians now which go and clean up the spill under the guidance of one of our engineers or someone who's certified within, as a remediation project manager.
So just give someone a quick overview, a how-to, an FAQ, if you will. Somebody has a spill, or maybe there's somebody who did not do a spill correctly. Just give them kind of a quick overview of what to do. And I mean, you can go ahead and give your company a plug, because at the end of the day, obviously a company like yours needs to be called, but explain how somebody gets to you and then we'll give them the obvious, which is your company. But it's kind of, you know what I mean. There's got to be signs and signals.
Yeah. So typically, on the initial spill, if it's say on a tank battery on a pad site, typically the initial assessment will be done by the operator themselves. They'll have most states have like a report a report sheet that they submit to the state environmental authorities. Then they bring in companies like mine to do the overall report, the environmental site assessment, who will then look at the extent of the spill, how deep does it go down, how much of an area does it cover, has there been any subsurface leaching into the groundwater, and then based on the information gathered in the environmental site assessment, we will then devise a suitable treatment plan. That's how it should work. However, what we're finding now is operators will do their own environmental assessments, which are very accurate and very good, and then they bring in a company that claims their product can do this, that, and the other, where their product cannot do what they're claiming because it's physically or scientifically impossible. So what the operator is not seeing is the contamination is being pushed further down into the subsurface and leaching into groundwater quicker than what it should. And then that's when we come in. We then have to obviously not only do the initial assessment, we have to then figure out how much contamination are they caused to go from subsurface into groundwater, how contaminated is the groundwater, and then figure out a two-phase treatment plan. So it's not just the soil, we're also looking at the groundwater sources, and obviously if there's any negative effects from the product this other company's used.
Give out your website, give out your contact information, that sort of thing.
Okay, so for further information, log on to www.bmabiotech.com and click on our environmental services section, or you can log onto the same website and see if you just want to buy the products. If you would like to get in touch with us via email, see how we can help you on your project, email us at info@bmabiotech.com, or you can call us directly on 281-643-8860.